Howdy folks, Lucy and Cal here coming to you from the PA-14. It is day 2 of our epic Sierra fishing adventure. We are at French Meadows Reservoir. Conditions are perfect. We're gonna have a little breeze today. The water level is up. Water clarity is very good. We're gonna start off with 2 different offerings. On the downrigger, I'm gonna be running a natural colored Trout Tricks minnow. The browns, the rainbows in here, they feed on bait fish, so that natural colored minnow, no brainer. And a Sierra basic, at least in terms of color. On the lead core, I'm running a red and 24 karat gold popped eye spoon. Haven't run this spoon up at French Meadows before. Narrow profile, lots of flash. It should be a winner. I'm gonna run this about probably 5 to 10 feet deep, and I'm gonna run the downrigger anywhere from 10 to 20 feet deep. We'll see which rod goes off first. Let's get these lures in the water and get our trout on. There are some very large rainbows out here and some epic browns. So fingers crossed, we'll be seeing some fish real soon. Fish on right there. That didn't take long. Man, that was fast. That took no time at all on that natural colored Trout Tricks. Oh yeah. Sometimes these fish, they have a way of getting bigger as they get closer to the kayak. So he's pulling now. Pretty soft bite, really. Ooh. I see him over there. He's not too far away. Well, nice fish. Not the biggest rainbow I've ever got here, but not a tiny one either. Let's see, where am I? Oh, nice fish. Oh, big fish. Big chunk. Look at that. Wow. He did not fight up to his size. He was a little lethargic. But let's get a look at that guy. That is a dandy rainbow on the Trout Tricks minnow. Let's see. Oh yeah, got him right through the lower jaw. Textbook. Wasn't getting away. 10-pound fluorocarbon leader today. There we go. Got that out of his mouth. This over here. Of course, my lead core is sinking back there. Let's get a look at this guy. Look at there. Trout Tricks minnow. Nice big planter. Heavy fish. Get him back in the lake, and hopefully he'll turn into a holdover. Let's get him revived. Got one down deep. I went after those deep marks and I hooked one. I'm very curious what this is. That was 55 feet deep over 90 feet of water. I was seeing those marks down there. Super curious about what they were. And fingers crossed, we're going to find out. Second hit I've had down there. Oh, he's jumping. He's jumping a lot. A lot of marks down there still. See what this is. Just so curious if those are browns down there. Oh, rainbow. Wow. Oh, it came off. Oh. He took off and went into the kayak. Big old rainbow. Well, I invested about a half an hour chasing those deep marks. I did get one up near the boat. It was clearly a rainbow, and then I kind of lost the marks. But we have a little bit of breeze now, so I've reset everything. The natural colored Trout Tricks minnow is working about 16 feet down. I've got the pop dye back in the water working off of one color, so it's 5 or 6 feet down. Before this breeze came up, and there was some surface activity out here, so I'm going to go ahead, follow the channel, push on up the lake, see what we encounter up there. Oh, fish on the pop dye right there. Bam! Bam-a-lam ding-dong, as they say. Okay, well, glad I went back to shallow fishing. I probably made that change 5 minutes ago. Got everything out, and then I started to explain what I was doing. Love the lead core. Love that pop dye spoon too. I'm really learning how to fish those, and they are proven to be very effective. See how big this fish is. He's 50 feet away now. Do my best to keep the boat straight here. Like to pull him in without using the net if possible. But if he's a big heavy one, I'm not going to be able to do that. But he doesn't feel huge. At least now he's getting heavier. These fish have a way of fighting harder and harder when they get close to the kayak. Oh, that's a nice fish. Stay down. He's hooked pretty good though. Let's see if we can do this. Don't you dare hook me, mister. Ooh, big rainbow. Rambunctious. There he is. Beautiful fish. I'm going to give him the power dive. Well, I came up the creek channel some distance. I didn't get hit. I didn't mark a lot of fish up here, but I didn't get hit. I know I can get hit on that natural colored Trout Tricks minnow, and a brighter colored Trout Tricks worm or minnow might be even better. I've got one hit and one fish on the Popeye spoon in the golden red, so I decided to try running the old tried and true orange and silver Trigger Spoon Jr. off the downrigger. I'm going to put this down at about 10 to 12 feet. I'm going to leave that pop dye down about 5 feet, so I'm going to work the top. I've got some pretty significant chop building now. Conditions look absolutely perfect. Surface temperature hasn't moved much. It's 67.9, and it is 10 a.m. exactly. So far I have hooked 5 fish, and can't remember, put 2 or 3 of them in the kayak. So I'm going to give this spoon, I'm going to give this Trigger Spoon Jr. a try for 30 minutes. If it doesn't produce, I'm going to start playing with soft plastics. I'm going to try some different colors. I'm going to vary the depth, and I think I'm going to continue working that general area out there where I caught the first fish of the morning. I know there's fish there. What do you always say? Don't leave fish to find fish. I kind of did that, but my plan all along was to check out this channel. Not that productive, so I'm going to shoot back out there, get on those fish, and give them a chance to jump all over this Trigger Spoon Jr. That southwest wind is starting to really push down the lake. Now, I'm going to say it's blowing about 15 or so, but French Meadows, pretty much an oval-shaped lake. It's coming right down the lake, and these rollers are getting a lot of momentum. Perfectly safe, but not optimum conditions for filming. I'm moving along the back shoreline of the lake here, moving into this area. Hopefully the conditions are going to be a little bit better over here. I've caught a lot of fish in this area over the years, so we'll make a pass over here, see what the conditions are like, and see if we can pick up another fish or 2 over there. I don't want to be out here if it gets much windier than this. Again, perfectly safe. It just doesn't make for optimum filming conditions. Camera's bouncing all the time, and the sound is horrible when it's blowing like this. So we'll see what happens. Definitely a good trout bite out here. I've had steady action all morning. So fingers crossed, we're getting into some more fish and better conditions over here along this shoreline. So here's a safety tip, and a tip that'll make your life easier if you're fishing these high mountain lakes. When the wind comes up and you're thinking it might get iffy, you might have to go in, but you still want to fish a while longer, it's a good idea to go upwind from the launch ramp, wherever you launched your watercraft. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now. My launch ramp is over there. Wind is coming from over there. So I'm going to go up and work an area upwind of the ramp. That way, when I decide the wind's too strong or the white caps are too high, I can turn tail, have the wind and waves at my back, sail right down to the launch ramp, put the kayak on the trailer, and be on my way. If you don't want to go downwind, decide the wind's getting too strong, and then have to beat yourself up going into the chop all the way back to the launch ramp. There we go, Trigger Spoon Jr. Right. Trigger Spoon Jr. Oh yeah. Right there. Ooh, he broke the line. Trigger Spoon Jr. Wow. And off he goes. Took him enough tries. Got it though. Got it. Well, that rainbow was hooked really deep. Jumped out of my hands and he floated, and immediately there were two ospreys circling him and kind of competing for that fish. And one of them, after multiple tries, finally got a grip on the fish and flew off. So bad for the trout, but good to know that fish isn't going to go to waste. Those ospreys probably have a nest here somewhere, and that protein is going to be put to good use. Well, folks, the wind doesn't really show any signs of letting up. It lets up for a few minutes, and then it starts blowing again, even stronger than before. That last fish, that was a nice rainbow. Sorry it floated on us, but those ospreys are going to get a good meal out of it. I think we're going to call it a day, head back for the ramp. I will be out on another Sierra Lake tomorrow. All in all, I got to say, very positive first trip of the year here at French Meadows Reservoir. The lake is at near capacity, the conditions are great, and there are a bunch of willing trout out here. Number one offering for today was that natural colored Trout Tricks minnow. I hooked a whole bunch of fish on that. The Popeye spoon in red and gold was producing, as was that orange and silver, one of my go-tos, that orange and silver Trigger Spoon Jr. Best depth today was about 14 feet. Got fish right under the surface, and I got fish all the way down to about 60 feet deep. So look forward to fishing French Meadows several times throughout the rest of the season, through the summer and into the fall. I think there's going to be a lot of great fishing up here this year. Since the Placer Water Agency is now planting trout in the lake, there are a bunch of big rainbows to be had. And my buddy was up here the other day, and he did very well on brown trout up at the headwaters. So we are going to head for the ramp. I'll catch you back on the water tomorrow. Good morning, folks. This is the third and final day of my 3-day High Sierra fishing adventure. We started off at Stampede Reservoir. Yesterday, we were at French Meadows Reservoir. And today, we are at Rollins Reservoir, just outside of Colfax, California. And we are not targeting trout today. A few weeks ago, I did a video up here where I caught some trout. Then I turned my attention to bass fishing, throwing a Ned rig. I caught a whole bunch of small spotted bass and 2 giant bluegill. So today, bass and bluegill are the target. Got a little breeze this morning. I'm kind of in the lee here. When I come around this point that's in front of me, I'm on the peninsula that divides the Greenhorn arm over there from the Bear River arm over there. I'm going to come around the peninsula on the Bear River side, and there is a several 100-yard long shoreline that is just full of down timber, big rocks, steep drop-offs. That's where I was catching the bass. That's where I was catching the panfish. I've got one spinning rod armed with a Ned rig, and I've got my other spinning rod armed with a slip bobber in my cooler. I've got jumbo redworms. I've got mealworms. I've got a bunch of little lures and stuff like that. So without further ado, I'm going to lean into the pedals. I'm going to come around this point here. We are going to start fishing. We're going to start looking for marks. The lake level is down a little bit since the last time I was here, but I don't think that's going to affect the action at all. Surface temperature, 76.9, so almost 77 degrees. I'm looking forward to an exciting day of fishing. See what happens when we get around this point here. Got my fingers crossed. Good fish. I think I might hit my drag a little bit too. Good fish though. A little slower than I thought it would be on the bass side. I've had some bites that I know were from small fish. Oh, this is a nicer fish. Woo! That's a spotted bass, alrighty. Man, what a fight. That's fantastic. I think he's part lingcod. Oh my. Come up here, you. Oh, that's a nice bass for this lake. Shoot, I better net this guy. I think I only got 6-pound test down here, so. Good fish. Go. Come here, guys. No. There you go. Swim right into the net. Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Woohoo! This is a spot. Little spot of risky. Nice fish. Oh. Here he goes. Okay, I've been fishing for approximately an hour. I worked this shoreline really well with that Ned rig, with that pond smelt looking little soft plastic on there. I've also tried drifting a jumbo redworm under a bobber down, I'm going to say about 7 feet. Tons of marks along that bank. I did not get enough bites, based on the amount of marks I saw. So I'm going to change things up a little bit. I don't know that much about catching panfish. I don't know what level they're apt to be at. I do see that a lot of the wood that I was planning on fishing is high and dry. Now there's plenty of stumps and stuff out here, but the conditions are a little bit different than I anticipated. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up a drop shot rig on my bass rod and see if I can get some of those suspended bass to go. I've got some small worms. I'll make a double hook drop shot rig. I'll put that on the bass rod, and that's going to allow me to pitch up on some of these more bare banks, shallower, and then kind of work my baits out into progressively deeper water and just see if I can get into some panfish. That's my plan. So it'll take me a couple minutes to get all rigged up here, but I think that's a pretty viable plan. We'll see if it works. So I've set up kind of an interesting rig here, and I'm headed back up to where I saw those marks this morning. I've got a double hook drop shot rig. Up top, I have a red worm pinned on a small bait holder hook, and down below I have about a 2.5-inch plastic worm rigged up on a straight shank hook. At the bottom, I've got, maybe 3/8 of an ounce of weight. So I'm going to be able to fish this vertically. I'm going to check these marks out along here. I think they're mostly bass. I don't know where panfish go once the spawn is over. I'm not sure. Just haven't fished for them that much. So I'm going to move back through these marks. I've got baits that should appeal to the panfish as well as the bass. Let's go see what those marks are. I got some kind of fish. Don't know what. Pulled. That almost certainly a bass. See what I got him on. Uh-oh. He's pulling me up into the timber here. My camera's tangled up. He does not want to come up, though. I thought so. It's a catfish. It's a big catfish. Big channel cat. Took that worm. I'm going to get out over open water so you don't tangle me in these sticks. This is a nice fish. Right there, I could see him real good. He's 5-6 pounds. Nice catfish. Woo! Catfish on the drop shot rig. There we go. Oh, he's bigger than that. That's probably 7-8 pounds. Oh my gosh. You never know what you're going to catch in the Sierra foothills. You never know what you're going to catch. My gosh. That is a nice catfish right there. That's the kind of surprise I like. Wow. Oh man, he's very releasable. That's a nice fish. He's at least 6 pounds, probably more. Let's get him out of here. There he goes, right back down. Oh man, that was something else. After the first couple runs when he was just staying down, I started to think to myself, the only thing that this can be is a big bass or a catfish. And wow. Here you. Well, on that note, I'm going to call it a day. This ends our 3-day Sierra adventure, and every single day was awesome. First day, kokanee, cutthroats, jumbo smallmouth. Yesterday, rainbows. Today, a little bit of everything except what I came here to catch, which was a giant bluegill. But caught some very nice spotted bass for this lake. A lot of the bass in this lake are 6 to 8 inches long. But we caught a couple much larger bass today, including that first one, which was a really nice fish. But headline for this trip was that big, beautiful channel cat. First channel cat I've ever caught in this lake, but I've never targeted them out here. Maybe I should come up here and target catfish, because I caught that one by accident. But I will take it nevertheless. Anyway, thanks for joining me here on YouTube. If you like this kind of content, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and then you'll always know when I'm on the Catch America channel talking about fishing, talking about the best available fishing in Northern California and beyond. I'm Kel Kellogg. I'll catch you next time right here on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and thanks for all the support you guys have been giving our store at CatchAmerica.com.